Nice to be with you, everyone. Today we're going to talk about El Robot Peso Mexicano, built by Wes, invented by me. I'm very happy to see you here. Welcome to the presentation. Glad to see you here on Facebook or on GoToWebinar. Doesn't matter where. We're always happy to be with you. Today we're going to part of a 2 or 3-part series, very exciting, where we're going to talk about how to force this Mexican peso robot into profitability. I don't think we really have to force it into profitability, but this is what's going to happen. We're going to make this thing. We're going to make this thing make money, and I am very excited about that. So come along with me for a ride, and what we're going to do is take a look at where it takes a trade and why it takes a trade. Now, this robot is developed to take trades based on the reversal arrows. And a reversal arrow is something that we talked about in a recent webinar. We talked about how this indicator was built, and we're not going to go back and revisit all of that stuff. But it will take a trade based on a reversal arrow, whether a buy or a sell. Now, it will only take that trade on a reversal arrow if the ADX is below 38 or below a reading that would suggest a trend. In other words, it will not take a trade that is counter trend when the market is showing trend strength. So on the chart in front of us right now, you'll see this red reversal arrow that I've circled, and you'll see the ADX at the same time. The ADX was below 38. This is an okay trade. I'll put a plus sign right there. That would sell. However, this one right here is a buy trade showing on the chart right now for those of you listening, because I am providing the audio of today's presentation for those of you that want to listen in the car or whatnot. This is a buy trade that would not be taken because in this example, the reversal arrow shows up and it's a buy reversal arrow, but the ADX is showing trend strength. And it's a reading above 38, so it's not going to take that trade. Okay, enough of that already. Let's move over to the server and let's do some testing. Now, the reason I say that this whole presentation is a 2 or a 3-part series is because there are a few different ways to get this robot to take trades. And I'm going to walk you through one of those methods right now, and then we're going to move on to the others. When I come over here to the server and I click on Expert Properties, I want to note the following things. I'm going to test this robot on the 4-hour chart. Eventually, we may move to trading a different time frame chart, but for now, we're going to test and we're going to use the 4-hour chart. Now, this box that pops up is the settings box for the robot, and it has all kinds of inputs. And we've gone through these inputs before, but I will quickly revisit some of these. The magic number is a unique number given to trades taken by this particular robot that distinguish these trades from trades taken from other robots and other manual trades that you've taken. Slippage refers to how far the market can move outside of your suggested or desired price. This is the US dollar Mexican peso, so I'm going to set the slippage settings to be a little bit higher to 50. The max spread setting refers to the maximum spread that can exist at the time a trade is taken. For most currency pairs that we trade, this would be a maximum of 7, 8, or 9, something like that, and maybe even as small as 4. But for this robot, because we are trading the Mexican peso, we're going to increase the maximum spread to 150 pips. The first trade size is 1 mini lot. I'm just starting out with that trade size. And the second trade lot is going to be 3 mini lots, 3 times bigger than the first. Now we get into a setting that is unique to this robot and important to discuss right now, and it's the subject of our presentation today, and it is, are we going to trade this robot Finch style? Now, you might ask yourself, what is Finch style? Well, Finch style refers to the fact that we can take one trade and hope that it's a win, but if it turns into a loss, we allow ourselves to take a second trade to turn the trade into a win. We call that Finch style, where there are 2 trades. We also refer to this as rollover trading, where the first trade is a loss, and we allow a second trade to open to try to come out of that loss. And that's what we're doing here. That's exactly what we're doing. We're doing Finch-style trading on this. Pips to trade 2 refers to the number of pips we want the market to move before a second trade is opened. This is important because if, let's say, you are allowing yourself to take 2 trades in the same direction to try to create a win, and you're trading the euro US dollar. Well, the euro US dollar doesn't have a giant trading range. It doesn't move thousands of pips in 1 minute. The US dollar Mexican peso, however, does. So we want to put a pips to trade 2 number that is pretty large, pretty gigantic here. And I'm going to just work with a pips to trade 2 of something like 5,000. A big number, right? That's pretty substantial, but we're going to put a giant number in there. We're not going to use a stop loss, but we are going to use a profit target. And I'm going to put a profit target in there of just like $40 and a second trade profit target of 0. If we get into trouble, we want the second trade to just help us get out of trouble. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with this style of trading, we're going to watch this trade on the chart, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about here. So I'll click OK. Those are the settings that we like. And we are going to click Start after we click on Visual Mode. And as soon as it begins, I will put the template on the chart. So if you're listening right now, I am placing the template on the chart so that we can see the candles and bars in the way that we like on the screen in front of us during testing mode. I simply clicked on visual mode to make sure I could see the candles while I was testing. And then I paused it as soon as it began so that I could put the template on the chart and see what we're doing. All right, we're moving forward, moving forward. All right, here we go. Trade number 1. On the chart in front of us right now is an arrow pointing down, and it's colored red. This is a sell trade because the ADX at the time was below 38. Hallelujah, God bless America, or whatever. That's a trade. Now, that trade turned into a win. But what would happen if that trade were not a win? Well, we can make that trade not a win, and I'll show you exactly what would happen. By increasing the profit target on this trade to something like $600 or something gigantic, and then going back and testing again, that first trade won't be profitable. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So as we move forward here, we get a reversal arrow that points down and the ADX under 38, and we get a sell trade. Now this sell trade doesn't close at its profit target because we chose a really large profit target. And as the candles are moving onward here, look what's going on. We've moved away from our entry price. The trade is now a loss, and now we're what we often refer to as stuck. We say we're stuck in a trade. We're stuck. We're now in a trade. Now what the El Robot Peso Mexicano will do is it will now look for a second trade. A reversal arrow pointed down because our first trade was a sell, and the ADX under 38 because that's our condition, and it will take a second trade. Now when that second trade is open, it will attempt to attempt to make some profit out of that. It will attempt to now have a second trade open, and we've taken 2 trades in the same direction. We've added to a losing trade, and we're hoping that it can at least make back the money that we've lost. Now, it doesn't include, because we've sold this, we're also going to be making a significant amount of interest while we hold the trade. So if you got stuck in a trade and it was a sell trade on the US dollar Mexican peso, that's not so bad. That's not a big deal. We're going to be making interest. However, I want to now skip from all this philosophical crap, and I want to move ahead, and I want to take a look and see, is this robot profitable? That means I need to stop the testing where we were. We don't want to show you a losing trade. We want to try to make this into a winning system. So I'm going to take the first trade profit back to $40. The second trade profit is 0. And now I want to restart the back testing. I don't want to use visual mode, so I apologize. I need to stop that. And now we want to start. Now we're not in visual mode anymore. Visual mode is a slower manner of testing, and it takes a long time to get through years of data. What I've done now is unchecked visual mode and started the test, and now we'll just run through and look at the results as they come in. And you can see here we took a trade on the 10th of July in 2015. It was a sell, and that immediately closed. at 40 bucks of profit. That was exactly what we looked at a little while earlier. And now the chart's just filling up with trades, and I think we've probably now finished off and we've gotten our results. We only had 5 trades in basically 2 years of time. We had a big drawdown. We had about a $7,000 drawdown on a $50,000 account, and we only made $125. If we look at the results on the screen, what we can see here is that somehow, some way, we ended up having a trade close that had opened. Oh, I see what's going on. So we sold, and then we sold again. So here's what happened. Later on in 2015, in July, we sold the US dollar Mexican peso. And then we sold it again almost a year later in 2016 to try to get ourselves out of that trade after the market had moved against us thousands and thousands of pips. And then in 2017, that trade finally closed at $0 of profit. It would have made approximately $2,000 or $3,000 in interest during that time. A lot of money. It would have made a lot of money in interest. But we got stuck, and this doesn't work. So I just want to basically say this doesn't work. I'm unhappy with these results, and that's not going to be a problem in the bigger picture. But I want to just say I don't want to take 5 trades in 2 years, and I don't want to get stuck in trades and sit in those trades for over a year just so I can get out of that trade at a 0 profit. I don't want to do that. I don't think that's interesting at all. That doesn't matter to me. Now, Ulrich is asking, are the arrows still valid signals without Knoxville divergence? Well, Ulrich, obviously, on this robot, that's exactly what we're doing. Yes, they're exactly valid. That's exactly the point of this robot, is to trade those. Are the arrows valid all the time, everywhere, for everything you want to do? Well, of course not. No, they're only valid when you like them. Any indicator is valid if you like to use it. You can use anything that you like to use, of course. Now, what we could do is we could experiment and optimize. We could run an optimization here, and if we ran an optimization, it would look something like this. I'm opening up the settings window in the back testing of the robot. And I could try a few different settings. I could say, let's try a second trade size of 0.5. And let's do a let's do a second trade size of 5. But you know what? Let's do this, actually. Let's back test and optimize the second trade size. We'll start with the second trade size of 3. We'll step in increments of 1 mini lot. And then we'll step all the way up to 9 mini lots on the second trade. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to step all the way up to 1.5 mini lots on the second trade. Now, by checking the box next to second trade lots, and by entering a value on the start value, the step value, and the stop value, what MetaTrader now will do is it will optimize over this period of time. So I'll start the test, and now an optimization is running. This optimization might take, I don't know, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on how many variables you're testing. But in this instance, I'm only testing one variable, the size of the second trade, to see if I can get myself out of trouble more quickly. But what I'd like to do is skip back over to my Google Chrome charts, take a look at the charts here, and I can draw a little bit on the screen while that's doing the optimization. And I want to say a few words. I don't like this style. That's the first thing that comes to mind, is I don't like this style of trading the US dollar Mexican peso. I don't like this Finch style trading. What I would like to do is I would like to trade this style of trading with a stop loss. I don't want to be stuck for a long time, and I'm willing to take a loss, and I just want to get in and I want to get out. I don't want to get stuck in a trade. I don't want to hold a trade for a year and make swap or not make interest payments or whatever. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. And what this robot allows for us to do is it allows for us to change the way the robot trades so that we're not just stuck trading it in one manner with 2 trades. I can put a stop loss on this, and I can change the way that this robot trades. And that's going to be my next goal. Oh, I didn't press the optimization check, so that is not doing any optimization. I'm going back to MetaTrader right now, and I'm clicking the optimization button right next to the Modify Expert tab. And now I am going to press the Start button. And now it is finally going to optimize. For those of you on GoToWebinar, I'll show you exactly what's going on there. I had to check a little button that says optimization. And now that optimization is running, and it will probably take a while. What I'll do is later on today, inside of Facebook, because I can't do this on YouTube, this webinar will be recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube and will be uploaded to Facebook as well. Inside of Facebook, I will print and I will list all of the optimization results for this robot inside of a comment inside of the Facebook post. Or I will do a separate Facebook post actually with a little video about that. That's probably the better way to do it. Okay, Nimmer says putting his pants on for the testing. That's good. We want you to wear pants while we test. Nimmer doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, though. He's an old friend, and why would we make him do that? All right, now when we come back on Monday, and maybe for a little bonus session tomorrow, when we come back next time, what we're going to do is we're going to test this in a different way with a stop loss, and that's going to allow me to trade this in a way that I don't feel as concerned about what happens to the bad trades. I'll just get out if it's not working, and then we'll move on to the next opportunity. Because think about it. If my trade is open for a year, as it was in this example, I'm stuck for a year in a trade, and I'm not taking any other trades during that time on that currency pair. I don't want to do that. So when we come back on Monday, we're going to backtest this robot with a stop loss, and we're going to possibly use pip targets instead of dollar targets. Remember, I'll be back today on Facebook with a little video with the results of our optimization and a short description of those optimizations. I love you all. It's so been good. It's so been good to have you here. And quiero hablar en español para esta presentación. Estas presentaciones en el futuro. I would like to start speaking Spanish during some of these webinars in the future. So if there's somebody out there that speaks Spanish and you would be willing to have a conversation with me in Spanish on a regular basis on Skype, I would really like to do that. Just let me know in the comments section on Facebook below, and I will send you a message, and we can become Spanish-speaking friends so I can start doing a lot of these presentations in Spanish. You're all the best. I love you all. Have the best day ever, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you on Monday or later on today on Facebook. Bye for now.